That's a definitely. That's a definitely.
That's
for
awesome.
sure. That's my event.
That is
That's
your
my
event. That is
for sure.
I think we see Conor fight again. Might just be my hoping. I want to see Conor fight again.
If we are going to put Conor on, it solves the problem of having an American win.
Okay.
Then I'm going Conor McGregor and whoever. I would say it would probably end up being Chandler since they already spent all this money.
Oh God, no.
It makes sense. It would not make sense to me as a main event. If it ended up being Conor McGregor versus Chandler, now it's not lost on me the star power. They're just having McGregor in general.
Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler are potentially set to collide in a legendary card that promises pure fireworks. Additionally, Sean O'Malley said there should be at least one American featured on the White House card, as he pointed out that if Michael Chandler is on the card, he's not sure how he feels about it because Chandler recently lost to Paddy Pimblett, which has made Chandler less exciting to watch.
At the White House?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Conor versus Chandler. Chandler just lost to Paddy. That isn't there as much. Not as big. It's not as exciting as when Chandler was.
He lost to Paddy the Baddie?
Yeah, it was. I mean, Paddy's fucking good. He proved that he was as good as he says he is, and it's a big fight. Ilya headlining it versus who would he fight that's an American? I mean, Ilya versus Paddy wouldn't make sense just because they're not American.
Regardless of the ongoing speculation in Conor and who his opponent should be, O'Malley put his name forward, saying he would like to be part of the White House card if given the opportunity.
Yeah, so who main events that? I definitely would absolutely love to be on that card.
A lot of people say you versus Corey would be super good.
Yeah, God, Corey versus Merab. I'm so curious, dude. I'm so curious how that fight plays out. But the White House card, yeah. I mean, Corey goes out there, wins. I beat whoever's next. That's interesting. That could be. But regardless, I want to fight within the next 4 or 5 months, whatever it is. And then I'll also be ready for that because they said it could be June. Could be International Fight Week. Said it could be July. So if I can get one in early next year, end of this year, one of the two. Count me in. I want to be on that card. Dude, being on the Sphere card, being on the White House card, these are just legendary moments that you just they're once in a lifetime fucking moments.
Meanwhile, Chael Sonnen said he does not believe Conor McGregor will make it to the White House card, but added that if McGregor is included, it immediately solves the issue of having an American win. He argued that there's nobody under contract that McGregor can beat and predicted that the fight lined up for him will be against Michael Chandler.
So, if we're gonna put Conor on, which is the story we're being told today, I have a very difficult time believing the story is true. But if we are going to put Conor on, it solves the problem of having an American win. There's nobody under contract that Conor can beat. That's at any weight class, any way you want to do it. Now, don't forget, Conor is going to fight a 155-pounder. He's going to fight Michael Chandler. But they're not going to fight at 155 pounds. I don't even know if they're going to fight at 170 pounds.
Whereas Josh Thompson said that if it were up to him, he would place the women's fight between Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes as the main event, while putting Conor McGregor against Michael Chandler as the co-main. He added that if McGregor is on the card, it will most likely be Chandler standing across from him.
And I know I'm flooding it right now. Like I'm saying, if you're saying you're going to put the best fight on for the White House,
Okay.
I'm going to just, as right now, because she's the only American champion, is I'm going Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes as the main event.
Boom.
Which is not fair, which is fair to me. But I know some people will be like, well, you're fucking retarded, dude, because these guys are bigger names, this and that. Okay. But in reality, I would go Kayla Harrison, 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Okay, and the UFC champ, multiple-time PFL champ. Like, I'm going Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes as the main event.
Okay.
Then I'm going Conor McGregor and whoever. I would say it would probably end up being Chandler since they already spent all this money.
Oh, God, no.
John, I'm just, bear
Go
with
ahead.
me, buddy.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay, but it's probably going to be Chandler if they fight. Just, that's where I'm at on that.
Furthermore, Josh explained that he would not place John Jones above Conor McGregor because Jones is not the bigger name. He added that he would feature Islam Makhachev against Ilia Topuria and also include Kyoji Horiguchi facing Makoto Pantoja.
John Jones and Tom Aspinall. That being the middle fight. That being like not being above Conor because he's not a bigger name than Conor. And then I'd put Islam and Ilia Topuria And then my last fight would be, I want to give the little guy some loves. I'd get Pantoja versus Horiguchi.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's my card. If you gave me full reign to say, hey, what fight would you put at the White House? It would be that card.
Echoing Josh's views, Brian Campbell said it makes sense for Conor McGregor to fight Michael Chandler, but he would not make it to the main event. He explained that while the matchup is a strong addition to the card, it is not worthy of headlining. According to Campbell, the UFC can do better than McGregor for the White House event.
So is he saving the Diaz fight?
I just think because Chandler's All-American, because he he got screwed in the...
Diaz is also American.
True, and I'm not trying to make it say, I'm saying when you add in that he's a company man who got screwed by Conor when Conor pulled out of
And he's
two
also, to your point,
IFWs ago.
He's intensely patriotic
Intensely patriotic. He was also on Fox News during this media roundup. It makes sense. It would not make sense to me as a main event. If it ended up being Conor McGregor versus Chandler, now it's not lost on me the star power. They're just having McGregor in general. McGregor's pulled out of the Irish presidential race, sort of in line with this. I'm not sure if it's related or not, but would you tolerate if that was the main event, though? I feel like they can do so much better than that.
Similarly, Luke Thomas agreed that as a main event, the fight is underwhelming, but noted that on the White House card, it would still make for an interesting addition.
If that's the main event, I think that's a disappointment.
But on the card, that's
on the card, to me, a different consideration.
It's a
as a
fun
main
action
event,
fight.
that's a letdown.
Yeah, that's a fun-ass action fight.
Despite these critics, Sean O'Malley said he hopes Conor McGregor returns to fight again and added that it is highly unlikely McGregor would ever open a card or settle for a co-main event.
I think we see Conor fight again. Might just be my hoping. I want to see Conor fight again. I think he gets one more in there. I think he goes out there. Who does he fight, though? That's the question. Like, I don't think Chandler... I guess it could be Chandler. I also can't see Conor not main eventing. Conor's not going to co-main. Conor's not going to open up a card. So it's got to be a big
He's in the early prelim match.
He just opened up the fights. It'd be tough. But the White House card, Corey goes out there, wins. I beat whoever's next.
Adding to that, Conor McGregor promised that he's back and confirmed he will be on the White House card. He said he's ecstatic and declared that there is no greater stage than fighting on the White House lawn. McGregor proudly announced that he will main event the card and claim the White House event as his own.
I'm ecstatic that Mac is back. And what better event than to grace the White House lawn for a straightener? What I do best. I'm very, very excited, very eager, very motivated. Bring it on, baby.
Do you think that's when you would maybe come back? I mean, what about comeback for you as far as fighting?
I'm very happy that it's June. It was on in July. Now it's a month earlier. Even better. Bring it to April. Why not? Let's celebrate the birthday early. I celebrate my birthday months in advance.
So we could potentially see possibly White House Conor McGregor.
That's a definitely.
That's awesome.
For sure, that's my event.
That is
for sure.
However, Dana White revealed that he plans to start building the White House card in February, and if everything goes as planned, Conor McGregor will be featured.
Do you want him on that card?
Yeah, we'll see how this thing plays out. I'll start making this card in February. So if it all plays out that way, Conor could be on the card.
You would still take him?
Yeah.
Your love of Conor.
Well, it's not my love of Conor.
No,
it's my
your
respect.
okay, but your loyalty is strong.
My respect.
You're known as a very loyal person.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of trouble, man. Now when he was on, he made a lot of money. He was great. I get it.
This isn't tennis. This is the fight business.
It's not golf.
In fact, White emphasized that Conor earns a spot because he's a reliable and never backs down from a challenge, and has always been there when the company needed him.
We're gonna find out. I mean, you got it. Here's the thing about Conor. I know more than everybody else knows. A lot of people talk smack publicly. I've been behind the scenes when, this guy's opponent fell out for this big fight. It messes fighters' heads up. And then, then their team gets involved and they start trying to strategically. I've seen the most horrible stuff happen behind the scenes. John Jones, Holly Holm, and I could go on and on forever.
What do you mean horrible how?
Where they have a team that surrounds them that makes incredibly horrible decisions
for the
them.
fighter?
100%.
Moreover, White pointed to a past incident when an opponent pulled out against Conor McGregor, and McGregor simply told him to call whenever someone was ready to step in. White stressed that while many fighters talk a big game, McGregor has consistently backed it up inside the cage.
Conor McGregor, Lorenzo and I were sitting, he wakes up, comes downstairs into the kitchen and finds out what happens. He says, I'm going to the gym. Call me later and let me know who I'm fighting. Almost nobody does that. I've seen the real stuff that goes on behind the scenes with Conor, and everybody can put whatever on it. Oh, he loves Conor. Conor makes some money. All this other stupid crap I hear. You know, when I see stuff on the internet, it just reminds me of how nobody knows anything about this business.
In addition, Dana White explained that his decision is not based on having a personal bond with Conor McGregor or the fact that McGregor has brought in strong revenue for the company. He insisted that it has always been about destiny and the path McGregor continues to follow in the sport.
But Conor McGregor has been that guy throughout his entire career.
Not buying into that narrative, Chael Sonnen remarked that Dana White's calling Conor McGregor reliable is a tremendous compliment, but argued that it does not reflect reality. He pointed out that about a year ago, during International Fight Week, McGregor had pulled out of a main event and also failed to appear at a press conference in Ireland.
So it's a very big compliment that Dana paid this to Conor, because that's not what's been presented to us. Was it a year ago? Was it International Fight Weekend of 1 year ago that Conor pulled out of the main event? Subsequently, or prior to, pulled out of a press conference which was in his backyard of Ireland supporting the event, and he pulled out for a discolored pinky toe which may or may not be broken and may or may not be his. Conor wasn't serious about that, by the way. That was a rib, I believe. Rib means industry term for a joke.
However, Sonnen noted that the last time fans saw Conor McGregor in the octagon, he had suffered a fractured leg, yet still finished his night by forcing Joe Rogan to interview the canvas. Sonnen said that moment showed McGregor's professionalism in turning it into a final scene for the cameras. He then questioned how the same fighter who pushed through that situation could later fail to walk out over a toe injury, and argued that he never believed McGregor was truly serious about it.
When he put out the pinky toe, with himself not included, and pulled out of a fight. After the last time we had seen him in the octagon, he's got a fractured leg, and he finishes right. He makes Joe Rogan get on the ground and conduct his interview because he's such a professional that he is going to play this till the final credit, and that's that same guy can't make the walk because of a pinky toe. I don't believe that Conor was serious. I don't believe that he ever meant it. I believe that you MMA media are so scared of Conor McGregor in a want-to interview that you're never going to get, that you ran with a story that he didn't mean to be serious in the first place. But either way, we don't know why he pulled out of a fight. We just know that fight didn't happen and it never got rebooked. And according to Conor, he wanted it rebooked and he wanted to return, and he wasn't getting his phone calls returned.
Moving on, referee turned analyst Josh McCarty said he would match Conor McGregor with an opponent willing to stand and trade strikes. He explained that he would avoid pairing McGregor with anyone likely to take the fight to the ground, and suggested someone like Daniel Rodriguez, who can stand and exchange punches.
I look, and if I'm going to bring Conor back, I'm going to bring Conor back against somebody that is going to stand and bang with it. I'm not going to bring anybody that's going to try to fucking take him down or any of that stuff. So I would actually look towards someone like a Daniel Rodriguez or somebody like that to fight with Conor, because I figure Conor's going to be 170. He's not going to be a 155er.
Well, Chandler said he'll fight him at 70.
Okay, that's fine, but I'll still say that I think that Daniel Rodriguez would be a more entertaining fight than the fight with Michael Chandler. But, you know, someone in that range. I love the Islam versus Tafuria fight. Obviously, that would be fantastic.
In addition, John added that he would like to see Merab Dvalishvili face Mario Bautista on the White House card. He explained that if Merab successfully defends his title against Corey Sandhagen, then he would want Merab included in that event.
And I would say that Pantoja would be great, but just based upon his energy and everything, I would bring out, if he's still the champion, I'd bring out Merab Dvalishvili, and I'd probably put him against someone like could be Mario Bautista, but we'll see what happens with Corey Sandhagen. I don't know if he's going to get past Corey. If he does, it would be him against somebody like a Mario Bautista, or maybe Umar again. You know, that would be good.
Despite all these suggestions, Chael pointed out that Dana White has the resources and power to make any fight he wants, but questioned why he would single out a spot for Conor McGregor 9.5 months in advance. Sonnen argued that by doing so, Dana is presenting McGregor as being bigger than the UFC titles themselves.
I'm asking you, I want you to tell me. You had the power of the purse and you had the magic wand. Would you, 9.5 months in advance, single out a spot for Conor McGregor, knowing that you're going to have to tell the world, I want this to be my biggest show and it won't contain a title? It doesn't contain a title, but it contains something else. It contains Conor McGregor. Well, who's he fighting? Doesn't matter. What are they fighting for? It doesn't matter. Didn't you hear me? I said Conor McGregor. Like, you kind of got me. I'm not necessarily arguing against that concept. I'm not sure that if I wasn't in the position that I want to just say, yeah, give me a Conor McGregor, and that will trump any idea that you have. That'll trump any realistic pairing that you can do. One Conor.
Interestingly, Dana White aimed at Jon Jones, saying he's not a fighter he can rely on. White explained that Jones surrounded himself with the wrong people who pushed him toward bad decisions, and he chose to follow their lead. He pointed out that with Jones, it was the first and only time the UFC ever had to cancel an event.
You know, he's one of the guys I put on the list who's had, you know, some not so bright people around him that have made decisions for him, and he listened to them at that point in time in his career. Fight fell out. The only fight we've ever canceled in the history of the company. Fight fell out, and he was gonna, and we had Chael Sonnen to step in. His team didn't like the idea of him changing opponents, and that Chael Sonnen was a bad move for him, which is absolutely ridiculous. And these are the same guys that had Holly Holm, and in my opinion, ruined her life.
Dana White made it clear that he cannot rely on Jon Jones, and that uncertainty has always surrounded him in the lead up to major fights.
I'm not worried about that. My thing about Jon Jones is, in the crunch time, bad things always happen leading up to fights and all this stuff. Can I count on Jon Jones? That's my thing. And everything you said is true.
Are you holding your breath until he steps into the cage every single time?
Every time.
You book him?
Every time. And I also back that up with, I do believe he's the greatest of all time. And I also say, when you deal with the greats like him, whether it's him, Anderson Silva, the list goes on and on. It's almost like these guys are, they're artists of a sort. And anytime you deal with artists,
they're
nutty
different,
stuff
man.
happens.
They're different, right?
Nutty stuff happens. It's part of the business. It's part of the, but I like consistency. I like guys that when it's, who do you want to be in a foxhole with?
Right.
Those are my kind of guys.
You know who will stay and fight, and you know who will run.
I know them all, from top to bottom.
Dana
men
White.
and women.
For that reason, White explained that he needs absolute assurance that Jones will stand by the company and remain consistent regardless of what happens.
I'm not worried about that. My thing about Jon Jones is, in the crunch time, bad things always happen leading up to fights and all this stuff. Can I count on Jon Jones? That's my thing. And everything you said is true.
Are you holding your breath until he steps into the cage every single time?
Every time.
You book him?
Every time. And I also back that up with, I do believe he's the greatest of all time. And I also say, when you deal with the greats like him, whether it's him, Anderson Silva, the list goes on and on. It's almost like these guys are, they're artists of a sort. And anytime you deal with artists,
they're
nutty
different,
stuff
man.
happens.
They're different, right?
Nutty stuff happens. It's just.
But in Jon's defense, Chael Sonnen commented that if Jon Jones offered an apology to Dana White, it would go a long way. Sonnen explained that if he were in Dana's position, receiving that apology would not fix everything, but it would matter. He added that it would show Jones is willing to take responsibility and accountability for his actions.
Jon came to him and apologized. So I'm sorry how this whole thing went down with Tom. And that goes a long way. I mean, I follow the golden rule in life, but put myself in somebody else's shoes. If I'm in Dana's shoes and I get this apology from Jon, like that goes a long ways. It doesn't heal everything, and it would kind of matter what was said. but it's something. It means something.
At the end of the day, the White House card is shaping up to be one of the most ambitious events in UFC history, with Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler sitting at the center of all speculation. And that wraps up the breakdown of the UFC White House card talk, with Dana White backing Conor McGregor and analysts weighing in with their takes. What do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and we'll see you in the next video with more exciting updates.